Hey, good day, all you lovely people at home.
Hi.
So I asked on Facebook who would like to create a vision board in the context of the current lockdown and self-quarantine that's happening for a lot of people, because obviously it's turning our lives upside down, right? Like careers are changing, social environments are changing. Uh, you don't go to the gym as often as you can. Maybe you eat differently. So your whole life is basically changing. And how do you want to tackle that? And one way to do that is to create a vision board, which is something that I personally love. And probably this is also a good moment to introduce ourselves. So my name is Marianna. I'm the owner of Other Being. And with me is Lotte.
Hi. I'm the owner of helemaal and I'm going to draw with you today.
Exactly. And Other Being is basically a business about uncovering your vision, both for people and for brands. And Helemaal Lotte is an amazing blog about self-care. It's in Dutch, though.
Yes.
So one thing you probably have noticed is that there's a white wall behind me and there's a door behind Lotte. And that's because we're also self-quarantining and creating this very much in the context of the virus, making this very relevant and also like very houtje touwtje, as we call it in Dutch, which basically means put things together. So one of the things that this video is going to be about is it's going to be about creating your vision board. So the best thing you can do is just draw along with us, listening to the questions and looking at the examples Lotte is going to show you. So one thing you'll need is a piece of paper, at least A4, but bigger is better, and something to draw with. And it could be a pen, it could be a marker. Lotte, maybe you have other suggestions?
You can use anything, even a ballpoint. Just something that is writing on paper. It's fine.
Perfect. See, life is so easy. Even in lockdown, you can create vision boards with
Yes, you
whatever.
don't have to store for this. Because I believe everybody has some paper and some kind of pencil in the house. So you could
otherwise, you could always draw on your wallpaper, you know.
Yeah. Or on the window. If you have a whiteboard marker, you can just draw on your window. I do that all the time.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
So the first thing we're going to do is creating the vision board about you. So Lotte, would you mind drawing yourself in the middle of the vision board, please?
Yes, I will. That's me.
Great. So this is Lotte, and you can all see that this is Lotte. Doesn't she look exactly alike?
Yes, yes. I also have a ponytail and glasses, so yeah. It doesn't have to look exactly like you.
And you've used some really simple shapes to draw this, right? Could you explain it a little bit to us?
Yes, of course. All the drawings I'm going to make today are going to be very, very simple and easy to draw. I think everybody can draw this because I just draw myself with a circle, a kind of a triangle, and some lines. So the circle is my head, the kind of triangle is my body. I don't have any feet, but I can give myself some feet with a kind of a dot, something like that. The lines are some kind of a triangle with a dot at the end, and that's my hand. And some other lines are my hair and my face. So that's all you need for a person to draw a person.
Perfect. I think that's going to make it for a lot of us a lot easier to create a portrait of ourselves.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be realistic. If you want to be realistic, take a picture of yourself and then you're done.
Fair enough. As long as it gets the message across.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So the first question for your vision board, and this is obviously very impactful for a lot of people with like going in lockdown and having to change around your whole perception, and then all this news and us being kind of propelled into, you know, fear and worry, is what kind of person do you want to be during this whole crisis? You know, what do you want to stand for? What do you want to express? And it's very different for all of us, but maybe you can draw what it would be like for you, Lotte.
Well, there are several ways to draw it. You can draw yourself again, a little bit smaller, because you said there are about 9 questions, right?
Yeah, we're probably like in this video we're going to touch on a little bit less.
But if you want to put all 9 on this paper, you can also first make a sketch. But I will draw it here in the left corner, a little version of myself. and I can draw a ponytail. I can draw what I want to be. So a thinking bubble. What's the name in English?
A thinking cloud, maybe? I'm not sure.
Yeah. You can draw just what you think, and you can put words inside them or around them, and draw an arrow that way. But what I want to be in this crisis, that was the original question, right? I'm avoiding the question. I want to be maybe a little bit more zen. So, and how I'm going to draw a little bit more zen is this. Just a circle for my face, a square for my body, some lines for my legs, my feet.
Because you're in lotus pose, right?
I'm in lotus pose, exactly.
Wow, that definitely looks very peaceful.
Yes, it is. And if I want to be more connected with myself, I can draw a little heart here. Now I'm more close to myself.
That's beautiful. And so when you're saying you want to be Zen, one of the things when creating a vision board is we tend to use a lot of kind of abstract concepts, right? Like Zen or beautiful or whatever. And what does Zen mean to you? Like, what kind of behavior is Zen?
I think for me it's more calm, being more calm. And in this phase, I would just draw some words. I'm just going to write some words. You don't have to draw everything on your vision board, because then you're just getting stuck in what I'm going to draw. So calm, not checking the news every 2 seconds. So phrase it positive, maybe check the news 2 times a day.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay, gotcha. So anything else you would want for yourself apart from being calm? And Zen?
I'm sorry?
Apart from being calm and Zen.
Good question. I think I want to be inventive, creative. Making the best of the situation that we've got.
Gotcha. Right. Can you draw creative for us? What does it look like to you?
Yeah, I'm going to think about it.
Perfect. Do that.
Because it's really a practical thing, but also a lot of thoughts and ideas that are going through my head. A light bubble is something that is a symbol for me. So I will draw. I think I'm not sure because it's going to be square, our video. Something over here, a light bubble over here, and it's just a circle, but it's not really closed. And with some lines, it's giving light. But I can hold the bubble. So I just drew the bubble, and now I'm going to make myself something like this. Very big smile. And also glowing. Something like that.
That looks wonderful. In the meantime, also, by the way, for all you people watching this at home, think about what you would want for yourself during this crisis. And it's different because I have a girl on my timeline who's like, I want to be an activist. I want to inspire people. And for me personally, I want to embrace whatever there is to come and just be Zen and enjoy the small things. Mm-hmm. And everybody has their own vision on the lockdown, and try to zoom in, go inwards and zoom in for yourself what your ideal lockdown self looks like. And then put it on paper. And so another question I have for you, Lotte, is you draw this light bulb and draw a small heart and some other symbols. What do you use to get your inspiration for the symbols you use?
Google.
Awesome. I love it. So how does that work? Tell me more.
Well, if I'm looking for actually what I'm drawing all kind of icons. So we all have a library with words in our heads, but not really a library with all pictures of icons. And you can build your own library to draw it more and also to look it up on Google. So if I want to draw a plant for some reason, I just Google plant icon, and then I get really simple drawings, pictures, icons of a plant that I can draw, and you can also draw it. So
Perfect.
Yeah, Google is my place to go.
Awesome. And then the other, it's all our happy place, I guess. The other question I have is, I also see that you're using words, and using words is obviously very powerful because sometimes it's kind of hard to draw something. Yeah. So why would you say it's good to use pictures instead of just, writing a poem about what you want yourself to feel?
You can write a poem if that is your language. Write a poem.
I mean, well, I can't, but yeah, sure.
I'm going to get another piece of paper.
Okay. Wait, we're coming back to this one later, are we?
I hope so.
Okay, good.
Maybe. I have to look some plakband, but we have one brain, but we've got a left side and a right side, and
cool.
Both are very good at a specific task, but not everything. And words is more left side, and creative is more right side, or the other way around. I always mix it up. But when you use words and pictures together, both sides have to work together. So they can give each other a high five. Yay! And because both sides are working, there are other connections in your brain. You get other ideas in your brain because your brain is just doing things differently than normally when you only think in words.
Mm-hmm. Okay, sounds good. Great. So pictures, words, use the whole combination, make an awesome vision board.
Yeah. But you can also use more colors. You can also make a mind map. Oh, that is already visual. So it doesn't have to be specific icons or drawings. You can use colors. You can use lines and arrows, boxes, squares, circles, whatever you like, to make your structure.
Sounds perfect. Yeah. Okay, so let's get back to the vision board.
Yes. I'm going to look for some plakband.
Okay, well, we'll be back after the non-commercial break.
Yes.
See you in a bit.
Yes, I'm back.
Awesome. So we're back, and Lotte used very colorful what's left in the house washi tape to glue back the vision board, and we're ready to roll again. So we've established what kind of person you want to be during lockdown, right? So you want to be a Zen person, you want to be a creative person. Now, tell me, if you're looking at your physical environment, because obviously you don't have the ability to go out as much, so you're mainly stuck within your own home. Mm-hmm. What kind of physical environment would make for the happy Zen creative Lotte? What do you need to be happy, creative, and Zen?
That includes a house that is not as messy as it is right now.
Can you draw us a non-messy house?
No. I'm really thinking about it, how I'm going to draw that one. I'm almost going to look it up on Google. I will.
No, this is actually great to see, right? Because Lotte does this for a living. And so what all of you need to realize is that there is nobody is born with a visual library, right? So it's something all of us have to develop. And we didn't rehearse this up front. It's not like I sent Lotte a list of questions like, this is what I'm going to ask you. So now she's like, fuck, now I need to draw a non-messy house. What am I going to do with that?
Yeah.
Can you show us the results?
Well, I can. I will make a screenshot. Because
Okay,
I
awesome.
think it's going to look very good on screen.
No, it's okay actually. Actually, yes, we can see. Okay, well, actually, this looks more like a messy house.
Yeah. It's a messy house because I looked up for a messy house, but I am looking for a clean house. My house is never going to look like this. It's got stars.
Oh my God, the house is sparkling.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I
So,
love it. I love it.
yes,
It's
yes.
a vision for well, I think it's a plan, my next 10-year plan or something like that. But I also would draw a house that's not mine because I live in an apartment building and it's really just a square. So that's nothing.
Okay, but at the same time, hang on. I'm gonna interrupt you right here because this is the house that you have during lockdown, right? So
yeah,
you don't really have the ability to kind of, yeah, I know I'm being horrible.
Okay, I've got it. Yes, I'm going to use two colors, black and yellow.
Okay.
You can still see this part, right?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is my apartment building.
Okay.
And this is my apartment.
Okay, that looks good.
Yeah.
So is it like, are we looking from the outside in?
Yeah.
Okay.
So actually, here are also some buildings. So I live in the middle.
Okay.
And this one is mine. And I'm also going to pick another color, pink, because I love pink. And I'm going to make little stars. And I make the stars really easy. They're just lines. There are actually 3 lines. So nothing complicated. And some dots because sparkling is in my world stars and dots. Something like this.
Okay, so now you have a sparkling apartment.
Yes.
It's absolutely gorgeous. However, what do you need to be creative and calm in terms of your apartment? Because you're saying you need it to be less messy.
Yeah.
Does that mean that everything is in its place? What does not messy look like to you?
It means that I clean up my working spot after working hours.
Okay. So can you draw us maybe a clean workplace?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. And while Lotte is drawing, let me actually zoom in on this part for you real quick, because this is one of the hardest things when it comes to vision boarding, right? Yeah. Staying very, very, very specific and being like, okay, well, what does this look like when I'm talking about, messy, when I'm talking about Zen, when I'm talking about whatever? How can I make this tangible? How can I make this something I can actually work with? And that's another huge benefit, in my opinion, of creating a vision board over writing down words. Because if you're creating a vision board and you're not entirely sure what to draw, that means that you probably aren't entirely sure what a certain word means to you. Because now that Lotte is like, well, non-messy means I'm cleaning up my desk, it's much easier for her to draw her desk. Yes, well, once she's like, well, it's non-messy, it's like, well, okay, that could literally be anything. And you end up with, well, sparkles, which I'm all in favor of, but it's not necessarily.
I have some caulk from the street left over, so I can draw on the walls on my balcony, and I can draw some stars and confetti and sparkling things.
There you go. So if you're ever in Utrecht in the Netherlands and you see a sparkling home, you know who it belongs to.
Yes, mine.
Right. So you're writing there's something, but you're also in front of. What does it say?
Well, I'm going to first finish the last word, but otherwise I'm losing it. I'm already shut down. That is it. Yeah. I've got some. I've here there's an stapel.
A stack.
Yeah, stack. Thanks. A stack of things that's left to do for tomorrow. So instead that is just all over the place on my table. there's this one spot where I can find it tomorrow. So that's the stack of to do. And my laptop has to shut down, or even in all the work apps have to close.
Okay.
So my mail is shut down, and other communication things we have, all is closed. So
Okay, gotcha.
That's on tomorrow. Yeah.
So one question about that, or actually not so much a question or remark, but the question is for the people back at home, is think about what your perfect environment would look like to you. Like, what kind of environment do you need to be the ideal self that you've drawn in the first place, right? And it could be anything. Maybe it means you have to redecorate and you now finally have the time to do so. Maybe it means you want to get rid of a lot of stuff because it's just so cluttered. Maybe it means cleaning up after your work. It could be a variety of different things. And you just need to figure out what your ideal environment is. Usually when vision boarding, I tell people the sky is the limit. So if your place is not the place where you want to create your environment, that's fine. Draw us your dream house. However, here we're kind of limited by the inability to go outside. So I'm kind of trying to make it as doable as possible. Cool. So that's for your environment, and there's a lot more topics you could tackle like these, which we're not going to do because otherwise this video is going to be a full coaching session of hours. So in the meantime, I'm just going to tackle a couple of more important topics here, and one of them is your social life, because obviously your social life is very different
lockdown.
Yeah, exactly. So Lotte, what kind of social life would help you be your calm, creative self during lockdown?
I love FaceTime. I love Skype. I love, Zoom, whatever. Just to stay connected with a lot of friends and family. But also limited it, because a few days ago I was, I think, 4 or 5 hours online.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. I have a lot of lovely people in my environment. So thanks for that. Really, it's really good. But I haven't done anything on my to-do list because, everybody was calling, which is really sweet, by the way. That's also needed to be said. But sometimes I just put my phone on do not disturb, so I can do something like reading. And because I read on my phone and on my iPad, calls can pop up, so I do not disturb, so I can read.
Okay, well, that makes a lot of sense. So could you draw that for us? So your online connection to other people, and also the do not disturb. And actually here I want to emphasize something that Lotte is already mentioned, is that when you're looking at your social life, or honestly like any part of your life, what you have is as important as what you want to avoid, right? So when you want to avoid like an overload of social contact, in the end it's about protecting your boundaries. So that's something you might definitely draw, and then make it specific, because boundaries are one of these like super vague terms. Like, I don't want toxic people in my life. Okay, great. Well, what does that look like? What's a toxic person to you? So Lotte now says, okay, I want to put on do not disturb, and maybe like make it even more specific, but just to keep some time for yourself.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, Lotte is drawing happy cuddling people.
Something like this.
Okay, that looks amazing. And can you also draw us the part where you protect your boundaries?
Yes.
The do not disturb part?
Let me think. The do not disturb button is just a little moon, but this way. Let me think.
And also notice how everything that Lotte is drawing still mainly consists out of squares, lines, circles. So there's no complicated shapes here, right? We're not drawing a lifelike portrait.
Nope.
And at the same time, it's very clear what she means, and whenever it's not, she's just adding words to clarify.
Yeah.
Cool.
This is not just the start button on the iPhone, but you can also draw a time limit, like 3 plus minus 3 hours.
Perfect. It's 3 hours of do not disturb time a day.
Yeah.
That sounds wonderful. That sounds like something all of us could use. Actually, especially when it comes to, watching news, doing social media, like limiting the intake of all the stimuli around the virus might actually be very good for your health, physical and mental.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've looked at social life, we've looked at environment. Now let's look at something that I know is not actually that changed by Corona for myself and also for Lotte, but might change a lot for other people, which is career. Like, what's your day-to-day like career or business activity that you do while you're stuck at home? And for a lot of you, this might change, because if you're usually working outside, things might change around. You might have to take your business online. You might have to find different things to make it through the day, or start building new pursuits. So think about that and wrote that on your vision board. And in the meantime, Lotte, maybe you can tell us a little bit about what you do for a living and what that looks like in lockdown.
I work in loondienst.
Okay, so Lotte works for an employer.
Yeah, thanks. And
we're Dutch, by the way, if you haven't noticed yet. No, I'm just telling the viewers that we're Dutch.
Yes, really, I'm Dutch. Yeah. And a big part of my job is helping other companies work online. So actually, what changed is that everything is online, and that I'm not at the office right now talking through my colleagues, with my colleagues, but everything is online. So there's not much change. Yeah. That I'm sitting at my own desk all day and not going to my work.
For us?
I'm sorry?
Can you draw that for us? You're doing consultancy over the internet?
Yes. I will draw a laptop.
And I'm guessing laptops will be on a whole lot of vision boards because a lot of things start happening online. So maybe you can also show us real quickly how you draw a laptop, because I know you've done this in a workshop the other day.
Yeah. A laptop is actually just a square.
Right. So that's the screen.
Yeah, that's the screen. And at the end, you draw 2 lines just a little bit outside that square, and then you connect them with another line. And that's the toetsenbord, the keyboard. So you could draw some lines, and that's for the keyboard. So that's my laptop.
Okay.
And coaching online actually is similar like this one, except this is my brother and my nephew. I will not draw them inside of here because I'm not coaching them to work online. They're already perfect on doing that. So even my nephew, 3 years old, I totally understand how it works. But the people we work for, not everybody does understand that quite yet. But we actually learn them a lot how some application works, and we do that through Teams or Skype. So I will draw the icon where I work the most. And that's inside the screen.
Yeah. Perfect. And so when you're looking at the calm, zen, creative Lotte, what part does career play in it? Like, do you want to say something about your working hours, or?
Yeah. Last week was the first week of semi-lockdown here in the Netherlands. I was working from home, and I work part-time. I worked 3 days, but last week I worked 5. So
protecting boundaries then.
Yeah. So this week I've got a lot of boundaries on my working hours. So I will work 4 days, but not full days.
Okay, gotcha. Draw that for us. Because we need that
actually,
creative flow. Sorry?
I have to put to get another piece of paper, because it's not going to fit on screen anymore. So we're going to draw with the little brain. But my week, how will I draw that? Well, actually, it's quite simple and not that inspiring. But my work week will be Monday and Friday. And brain, you're in the way. Something like this. I will.
Yeah, us do tend to get in the way quite often.
Even in this. So actually, I'm going to work with colors again. I have a green one and a red one. Red one is not working; it's free. I'm only working in the morning this week. So this is not working. Here I'm not working. This is not working because I'm free all day.
Okay.
I'm not working, and here I'm not working. And here I am working.
Okay, so the green is where you're working, and then the red is when your time is off. Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So in this is like a very, very simple way to add something to your vision board that's very clear and at the same time super easy to create.
Yeah. But your brain will how do we say that? Even in Dutch, I'm not sure how to say it. Your brain will easily adapt this form, this kind of information, than when you say I'm going to work only the hours. Because if you say it only and if you're not writing it down or you're not drawing it down, it's just vrijblijvend. It's just
it's so easy not to do it.
Yeah, you don't have any accountability.
Yep. No, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Oh, and you're using color coding to show what's what.
Yes.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
So we've tackled a couple of topics now, and obviously we've done it very briefly because usually you can do this like a coaching session of hours long. So we've looked at your ideal self, we've looked at your social environment, your career, your physical environment. Obviously, there's a lot of other topics you could tackle as well, right? Like you could look at your health. How do you take care of your health in times of crisis? You could look at personal growth and learning new things. You could look at hobbies and pursuits and your romantic relationships. Like, what do they look like, especially for people who do not live together? Corona, well, there you go. Corona oftentimes changes a lot of things. So we've given you just a quick taste of what it's like to create a vision board. And Lotte, maybe you can just hold up the vision board you created for us just to see the result.
Yes, I can.
And in the meantime, we really want to encourage you to take it to the fullest and to create a full vision board for your own lockdown period. Look at that. That looks amazing. So we have a calm Lotte. We have a Lotte that's full of ideas. With a clean desk, clean home, working online, connecting online with her friends, and also protecting her boundaries. And it's all super clear. It's all super simple shapes like circles for faces and a lot of rectangles and something everybody can create. And if you feel like you can throw, I used to think I can't throw, and Lotte taught it to me, so she definitely can teach it to you.
Just one little. I only used 3 kind of colors: black, yellow, and pink on this one. Don't use too much color. Just use 3 or 4 colors. That's really enough.
Right, because that way you can use colors for supporting your message, right? Rather than creating an art piece.
Yeah.
Perfect. So, so that's kind of the end of the video, and we hope you get a feel for what it's like to create your own lockdown vision board. When you're done, feel free to share it on social media. We've got 2 hashtags to use for that. That's like hashtag lockdown vision and hashtag your vision matters. Also follow us on Instagram. My Instagram is @otherbeing. Lotte's Instagram is
Lotte_Wendrich.
Okay, right. We're gonna share that.
Yeah.
If you have any questions about creating a vision board, whether it's the visual part, like how do I draw something, or whether it's like, okay, what topics should I think about, get in touch. We'd love to hear some feedback. If you want us to make another video on more topics, also definitely let us know. This is our first collaborative video. We absolutely love doing it for you. And thank you so much for watching. Follow us if you want to, and we hope to see you around. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.